Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was led by former Councilwoman Denise Civiletti. We're going to have the invocation by Pastor Jerry Halpin. Pastor Halpin, would you like us to sit, stand, kneel?
Whatever you want to do, I don't care. Supervisor Walter asked me to update Michael Hubbard. I saw him today. He's a little boy in Riverhead that was burned by Joe Candle Memorial Day weekend. Today was Michael's 15th birthday. I'm here to tell you government does work because Suffolk County today instituted Michael's Law, which banned the sale of those gel candles, gel products in our county, and they're trying to get the word out. And that is an awesome update. It's not the victory that his mother wants. The victory his mother wants is to see Michael come out of the state that he's in, walk again, and talk again. And I know that's the prayer. But I do want to say, I've said it before with some of the council members here, our community, Riverhead, is amazing, and the EMS and the firefighters that were there, and the people like you that have supported, giving your hard-earned dollars to help this young boy for his medical costs. So with that in mind, with Mr. Walters, our mother in mind, and so many of our families in mind, why don't we pray together? God, we come before you tonight, and we thank you for the lives that we live outside of these walls. And Lord, they're so busy, they're so crazy. Lord, we ask that right now you give the people in this room the ability to let those things fall to the wayside. Even the anger that builds within those, to focus on the tasks that are at hand, to help this community continue to be the greatest community on the east end of Long Island. We thank you for the councilmen and women that support, sponsor, and give their hard-earned time to this community as they think, as they challenge themselves, as they challenge those around them. God, we thank you for our town clerk and our town attorney as they work diligently. And Father, we thank you for the citizens, for the very DNA and fiber that you put in them to make Riverhead the best community. Lord, we ask that they continue to stand together and to stand beside our government as we work together hand in hand to create a brighter future, a steady today, and Lord, a tomorrow that you would be proud of. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
That was Pastor, thank you very much, Pastor Halpin from North Shore Christian Church in Riverhead. Okay. I guess we could sit. Tara, can you, I think we need the microphone to give the award. Can you just, do we just plug it in there?
Yep.
I don't know, sometimes the table picks up the sound, but I'm not positive. I see that the Boy Scouts are here, and is that Scoutmaster, is it Simsick? Can you have a representative of the Scouts come up and let us know what you guys are doing here today? And you can fill in, you don't have to stand.
Gentlemen, you can find seats in there.
Oh no, I want to hear from one of the Scouts. What are you doing here today? Not the Scoutmaster, he knows what he's doing here today. Do you know why you're here? No, you got to step up to the podium.
You got some surprise here. Can you explain what's the podium here?
Yeah, you have to step up to the
Step
podium.
up to the podium. This is your moment in the sun, my friend. Yeah, it's hot here.
Just move the microphone down.
All right,
Okay.
go ahead. Tell us why you're here, son. Sir?
Well, the reason we're here is because we're here for citizenship in the community and communications merit badge, and one of the requirements is to go to a council meeting or something. And we have to either take notes on certain debates and see different points of views from some certain groups.
What is the motto of the Scouts?
Be prepared. Wait, no, it was be prepared.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that introduction.
Thank you.
I'd like to have Bob Leach and Jim Lascalzo, who were prepared, come up because we're going to award them today. Come on up to the front here. Bob Leach and Jim Lascalzo. When you talk, boys, now I want you, I'm talking to your scouts out here. I'm a little choked up. I'm talking to the scouts out here, okay? and the rest of the residents, because we're talking about being prepared. Earlier this summer, we had a tragedy at Wading River Beach, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. There was a gentleman and his son were swimming at the beach in Wading River by the creek, and a little boy, 10-year-old boy, got blown out into the Long Island Sound by the current, the tide, and the wind. And it is unfortunate, but his stepfather passed away trying to rescue him. What is not unfortunate is the heroism of the two men standing next to me. And gentlemen from the Scouts, this is what you need to understand. These guys were prepared. You see, that boy was out there floating around, bobbing probably like a cork in the Sound. And I know the day, it was a very windy day. And I happen to know Mr. Lascalzo's wife. I happen to understand that you're deathly afraid of the water. And you know what they did? They grabbed a canoe, I guess it was, which is not the sturdiest of craft to take out into the Sound. And they rescued that 10-year-old boy. Because what were they? They were prepared. They knew what they had to do, and they did it. And that boy is alive today because of these two gentlemen. So when I really should come up with some sports figures that I'm not particularly fond of. But when you think about all the sports figures and all the bad things that they do and how we as Americans idolize them, it's not too difficult to find a couple that I don't particularly care for, but I won't do that. And you idolize them and you see people idolizing them, it gives me pause. Because the guys standing next to me are the ones you should be idolizing. Because how many people do you know that saved a life? And these two gentlemen did this. Now, Councilman Wooten has the proclamations, and we're going to ask him if he would just take a look at them real quick. I love putting everybody on the spot. Jim, you want to, John, Jim? Go ahead.
Well, I guess you want me to say what day is?
You could do whatever you want.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for what you do. I came out of law enforcement, and I see it all the time where regular citizens just jump out without even thinking, and it's amazing what you did. And who knows whether any of us would have done the same, but what you did was very heroic. So, because of that, the town board, along with Supervisor Walter, is Robert Leach Day and James Lascalzo Day in the town of Riverhead today. We appreciate it.
No.
Would your wives, family members want to come up and take pictures, be with them in the pictures? Come on up.
In the pictures?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
This is a family show.
Gotta have that better hair from you.
See that?
Yeah, right.
Go ahead.
Which one?
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care. So, you guys in the Boy Scouts, what's the motto? Go ahead, say it. There you go. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I should have said this in the beginning. I think Councilwoman Giglio's, one of her sons was sick, and I think she's on her way in. So hopefully she'll get here quickly and that her son is okay. All right.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes of August 2nd, 2011 meeting. So move.
And seconded?
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Gabrielson,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Dunleavy,
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
The minutes are approved.
Okay, applications.
Okay, under applications, we received from Halleckville Museum Farm an application for the Country Style Festival, September 17th. St. John's, the Evangelist Church, for their annual Chinese auction, October 1st, and also from St. John's, their annual holiday fair, November 19th. Under parade and assembly permit, we received from Suffolk County Historical Society a bicycle ride from from Riverhead to Greenport and back to Riverhead again on September 18th. There is nothing under reports. And under correspondence, we received 2 emails and 109 postcards requesting adoption of a short-term moratorium for the Wading River corridor, and 1 email from the Nature Conservancy regarding the public hearing tonight to amend the terms of the joint acquisition of the portion of North Fork Preserve between the County of Suffolk and the Town of Riverhead. And that's it.
Okay. Any committee reports? No, then,
Should I mention the memorial?
yeah, we're gonna mention it tomorrow, but if you want to, yes. Go ahead. Thursday at the work session.
Right now, Riverhead, I just want to, actually, what we saw tonight with the 2 heroes that saved that little boy out in Wading River, but on 9/11 this year is the 10-year anniversary of the World Trade Center and the Pentagon and the field in Pennsylvania. And we have a World Trade Center memorial over on Riley Avenue and Edwards Avenue that was erected shortly after that. And we're going to have a small parade and a memorial service held on Sunday, September 11th at 2. The parade's at 1 o'clock, so the memorial service is probably around 1:30 at the site. So we're inviting everybody to come down. We have some guest speakers coming. We're going to recognize the heroes that served our country that day. All the local heroes, the fire departments and the EMS and the police and all those that responded and tragically lost their lives in New York that day. So you'll hear more about that. We're going to discuss it at length at the work session on Thursday, but just to give you a heads up, it'd be a nice time to come down and pay your tribute.
But I think we should mention the employees in those 2 buildings also.
Right. 3,000 people.
There's a lot of them that lost their lives on that day, so they're going to be honored also.
I want to thank Councilman Wooten for spearheading that effort. I also want to recognize Lisa Weedell. Donated the sign was getting sort of faded, and she took it upon herself to take the sign in, and I think she put a brand new sign up.
She did.
And at no cost to the town. So that's the kind of thing that Pastor was talking about, that this community, this town of Riverhead, it is a very close-knit community, and for her to pick up and and I think she just did it. She didn't even really say anything to us, so we thank her for that. And I thank you, Jim, for spearheading this. Okay, boys, I don't know how exciting this meeting is going to be, but maybe we can make it exciting. Public hearing, we've got 1 public hearing on for 7:05 p.m. and 7:05 having arrived and left. It is the consideration to amend the terms of the joint acquisition of land between the County of Suffolk and the Town of Riverhead, such that the county and the town will share in the purchase of the nature, well, I'm losing, Northville Preserve. North Fork Preserve. I was going to say the Nature Preserve. And that is tax map number 0600 7-3 and part of 41, and 0600 -21-1, lot 1.2, and it's approximately 172.89 acres to be used for active recreation. And I'll open the public hearing. And would anybody like to be? Oh, Bob, you want to give us a?
The supervisor pretty much summarized the general idea of this public hearing. If any of you seem that this is something you've heard before, that's because there was a prior hearing. It was held on December 7th. And it was a little bit of a different structure at that point in time. The map that's over by the podium is broken into 2 parts, a green portion and a blue portion. The green portion is principally tax lot 7-3-41, which is a total of 133.27 acres. In that, you see a little tiny square at the bottom portion, the center, which is in blue. That's the 2.6. That's the subject of today's hearing, in part, that the town is looking to hear your comments on regarding a 90-10 split of purchasing that portion, 2.6 acres. The purchase price that's been offered and accepted is $65,000 per acre. That would be $169,000 total, of which the County of Suffolk share would be $152,100. The town share would be $16,900, assuming that 2.6 remains in fact 2.6, which will be subject to a further survey. The southerly portion, which is the rest of the blue, consists of 172.89 acres, approximately, as indicated by the supervisor. That's tax lot 21-1-1.2. That acquisition is on a basis of a 95-5 split. The purchase price is $55,000 per acre, of which the total acquisition cost would be $9,508,950. The county share would be $9,033,502.50. The town share, again, subject to a final survey verifying that amount, would be $475,444.50. Hopefully that lays it out a little bit clearer. The total amount that the town is limited to spending here is $500,000. Using the numbers that I just went through, the total number would be $492,347.50. So we would stay within that $500,000, which was the amount set forth in the December 7th public hearing as well.
All right, does anybody wish to be heard on this? Thanks, Bob. Yes, sir, step up and give your name and
Good evening.
hamlet for the record, if you would.
My name is John Cullen. I am the president of the Northville Beach Civic Association, and I reside in the hamlet of Northville. Supervisor Sean Walter, board members, I'm here today representing the Northville Beach Civic Association, aka NBCA, to comment on the development plans Suffolk County has for allowing public access to the North Fork Reserve. Because the residents of Northville Beach area will be directly impacted by any proposed changes, this makes the NBCA a primary stakeholder in the future of the property. And we would like to partner with Suffolk County and the town of Riverhead in defining the preserve's future. We support the preparation of the master plan with public input. The NBCA is very happy that Suffolk County and the town have recognized that the importance in acquiring such a large piece of open land for preservation. But we also are very concerned about many issues coming with the purchase based on the desire to open the land for public access. Based on a recent article in the News Review, the county has agreed to pay for the improvements for active recreation, but the town of Riverhead will have to maintain the property with ongoing budget restraints. Can the town provide the necessary funds to ensure the most optimum upkeep of the property? Are the entrance fees and rental fees enough to cover the stated maintenance costs? Does it mean the Riverhead Police Department will patrol the property and be on call for any emergencies that may occur? Will the Highway Department be in charge of all the landscaping, such as cutting the grass and trimming all the areas? Who will be in charge of disposing all the garbage that will be left from the people visiting this park? I can also expect that within time, the ATVs are going to find their way into the park. This based on a noticeable ATV activity on the land behind Halleckville, purchased for preservation by the state several years ago. We hope this activity would be prevented. In addition to making sure the maintenance costs have been allocated, we are also concerned with the traffic this park will bring to the North Fork. Currently, a typical summer weekend results in heavy traffic congestion on Sound Avenue. Last Saturday, from 11:30 a.m. till 3 p.m., there were cars lined up bumper to bumper heading east. And at Northville Turnpike, there was a quarter-mile backup prior to the stop sign at Sound Avenue. How will Sound Avenue be able to support the increase in traffic from the proposed 240 planned camping sites? Will people use Sound Shore Road to bypass the congestion on Sound Avenue? The NBCA cannot support any parkland that allows entrance access from Sound Shore Road. This proposal is especially crucial based on the 2 near-death car accidents which occurred during the past year on Sound Shore Road. The NBC is concerned with proposed walking, bike, and horse paths that are going to be in and around the northern parcel. We consider the northern 133-acre parcel a nature preserve. This area includes the most environmentally sensitive land with the larger park and should remain perpetually undeveloped with limited access. This area is dominated by a complex mosaic of interconnected freshwater wetlands and supports rare plants including native orchids, a diversity of reptiles and amphibians, nesting and migrating neotropical birds, hawks, owls, and many mammal species like deer, fox, and turkeys. We hope that the county and town will do a thorough job completing an environmental impact statement and that all wetlands on the 300 acres will be properly mapped to ensure there is continued preservation on the appropriate land. We further request minimal development in this area so that as not to disrupt the homeowners whose backyards meet with these trails. In addition to creating the public park, the Department of Public Works has plans to build sumps to relieve persistent flooding problems our Northville Beach community is experiencing from the current North Fork Preserve. As you know, our past NBCA president, Kerry Moran, worked tirelessly on the drainage issues coming from the preserve. We know the flooding is a top priority for the county to fix, and we look forward to seeing Kerry's endless hours of meetings and town hall visits to finally result in a solution. We hope that these sumps will hold every ounce of water Mother Nature throws at them to avoid flooding from the likes of storms we experienced last year, as well as the one just 2 days ago where parts of Long Island received over 11 inches of rain in less than 24 hours. On behalf of the NBCA and the Northville community, I thank you for your time and consideration this evening.
Thank you, sir. I'm gonna double check because my understanding is that we're limited to the cost of the purchase, that the maintenance of the property is gonna fall in the county hands. You're 100% right. The town doesn't have the ability to maintain this property, nor do we have the funds. So this will be something, if the county does choose to go forward and construct the park as they're planning, that they will be responsible solely for the costs of upkeep and maintenance, and I will make sure that's in the contract.
I spoke to Legislator Romaine, and he said this is going to be a county park like Indian Island is. They will maintain it, the buildings, they'll maintain the grounds, and we will not have to do anything but help pay for it. That's the only thing the town of Riverhead is going to do, and that's from our county legislator, Ed Romaine.
See how quick we got that answer? We were quick on the town board.
I also want to point out that Ed Romaine had said that the county doesn't have the money right now to build the park. So they're promising all this stuff, and he said it could be 5-10 years out. So it's not something's going to start
About 10
tomorrow.
years out, he said.
Or 10 years out, yeah.
Okay.
And I'll just add one thing. It's important to understand that this is amending. Tonight's hearing is only to amend the terms of the county-town partnership. We had a hearing earlier that was approved for the purchase already.
Yes, can I have name and...
Hi, Amelia Lance. I'm on the Riverhead Central School District Board of Education, and I'm here on their behalf. I'm sure you are aware that once this happens, if it happens, what it's going to do to the tax rolls and how it's going to affect the district.
Yes, right now, at this tax rate, between the two parcels, the 302 acres, the school district would lose $56,000 out of a total of $83,000 that's paid now on those two parcels.
Has the town...
They're not going to lose it. It's going to be spread among the other taxpayers in the town of Riverhead. That's what's going to happen to it. The money's going to be spread to the residential and commercial establishments in the town of Riverhead to pick up that $56,000.
And I agree with you and Councilman Gamerson and the sentiments of my colleagues also. And in speaking to Senator Laval and in speaking to somebody else from the environmental community today, they said that there could be a management agreement and pilot payments that could be made to the town,
That was my
seeing
next
as the
question,
property
yes.
is going to be acquired through the drinking water protection plan. So we could possibly arrange for a 5-year decline to where we would be, receive a pilot payment that would be what you were expecting to receive, the town and the school district and the fire districts, and then arrange for, I'd like to see the management agreement too, to see if the fire districts are going to be receiving any money from the county, seeing as if it was going to be preserved. If there was a fire, the fire districts would be called in. So, you know, we have a few questions.
I'm glad to hear
believe.
that you're talking
Talking,
pilot,
yeah.
the
It
pilot
affects
program,
everybody,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
We want to be made whole on it, so.
But on that same token, every piece of open space that we pick up, that the town or county picks up, that tax that we're losing is spread among every resident of the town of Riverhead.
The district, the Riverhead Central School District needs to be kept whole. I feel like I'm like
We're
this.
gonna move the
The district needs to be kept whole with
podium.
our, you know, with our money. I mean, we're getting tax abatements here, tax abatements there, this, and the next thing you know, we're gonna be dead in the water. So I appreciate, you know, whatever you can consider, you know, in regards to, you know,
We're talking to about a pilot program.
thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think we all can agree that the property would be best suited to remain green and preserved and open space. However, we need to see some green back to
Yeah,
take
it just,
care
it
of
can't,
our-
unfortunately, it seems, I mean, the school district gets hit hard, and it can't always be at the cost of the school district.
I
Thank
agree.
you very much.
Thank you. Yes, sir, step up, just give your name and Hamlet.
My name is Charles Cetus. I'm chairman of the Riverhead Open Space Committee, and I live in Hamlet of Riverhead. I'd just like to reiterate what I said at the last hearing in December 2010, that the Riverhead Open Space Committee is 100% in support of the town of Riverhead participating with Suffolk County in the acquisition of the North Fork Preserve as open space. Since the beginning of the Riverhead Community Preservation Program in 1998, the North Fork Preserve has been a top priority, and at over 300 acres in size, it is one of the few large properties on Long Island still available for open space preservation. I'm not going to restate everything I said last time, but I do want to say that the property is ecologically sensitive, especially in the northern portion, and it's wooded, it's wooded and plenty of wetlands in that area. Also, the southern portion is wooded in part and also has some wetlands there too. So I would just like to say that whatever public uses there are, whether they're active or passive, they should be designed in such a way as to preserve the ecologically sensitive areas of the property. I also would like to say that the Open Space Committee has not yet had the opportunity to discuss this proposal to increase the active portion of the property to 175 acres, and we're meeting tomorrow night, and we're going to discuss it then. And so I'd like to request that this hearing be left open for written comments for at least 2 weeks.
We'll leave it open,
I don't know
Charles,
when
for 10 days. Is that
10 days.
okay?
I know when you plan to vote on this, probably the next town board meeting, or?
Yeah, there's a lot of open issues.
Okay.
It's unfortunate, I don't want to say it's unfortunate, but anytime you preserve property, it's a balancing act between preserving property and preserving and building the tax base. And luckily, we have several new projects on Route 58 and some other projects that are coming, but you know, this is a delicate balancing act. And if we can get pilot payments from the county, you know, we will try.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. Would anybody else like to be heard? Yes, miss. Yeah, oh, yes.
Absolutely. Name, address, left side.
Just give us your name and Hamlet, that would be great.
Cindy Ellenbogen, Northville. Can I ask a question? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, once this property, I mean, I know the county is the major purchaser involved here. Are they the only ones with say, or do we, as a town, have some say in how it's developed?
I'm going to say we will have some say, but not a large say, since we're going to be at about a 5% property owner.
Minority.
Now, revenue-wise, does Riverhead see benefits from it, or is it just the county? If the county runs the park, they...
It would be like a county park, just like other county, Indian Island, and, you know, we would not necessarily see the revenue unless we talk to them about pilot payments.
But that's interesting, because that's something that I thought about also. And if the county is going to be generating so much revenue and people are going to be traveling through town roads and accessing the property and then the fire district, and whether or not it's going to be Suffolk County Park Police or Riverhead Police, that we should be also a 5% interest in the dividend or the money that the county receives.
You
as
should
far
be.
as
We should
park.
see some revenue, and we should have some input into how it is developed. Because first of all, the scouts being here is a great. They use a lot of the county parks. I'm very involved in Boy Scouting, and I use a lot of the county parks with my Cub Scouts, and my son, who's a Boy Scout, has used them. West Hills has an equestrian center, much like they're talking about doing, and West Hills Equestrian Center does put a large drain, especially when they the horses constantly using the same trail scour out the land and create more drainage issues. Done right, it can be fabulous, and I would love to see it like West Hills does. They only allow youth, so it is a youth-run park where the youth camp. It's not like for trailers. It's not for, and the Boy Scouts are fabulous. It's funny that they showed up tonight. They're very good keepers of the land in terms of taking good care of it. I'm very concerned about the traffic with the RVs and the traffic, and if we're not seeing any revenue for it, I just would like to see that, some input into, because we know the land better than anybody else, and, while I would love to see it preserved forever, if somebody's buying it, they have the right to develop somehow, and I think it's great that it's going to be used for trails as long as everything is done within the letter of the law.
I can tell you, if the purchase goes through, it's an open process too, it's with the county as well. So
okay.
A forum similar to what you're doing here with the town, I'm sure you would have plenty of input as to
how it's
planning
developed and
stages,
how.
yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so anybody else? Yes, sir, I'm sorry. I apologize, it's a bit warm in here. Usually this is the coldest room in Town Hall, but apparently now this air conditioner doesn't work.
I don't think we paid our air conditioning bill.
Maybe not.
My name's Tracy Smith. I live adjacent to the proposed park. I have that parcel that kind of goes like that in the upper left-hand corner. When I moved here, which is only 8 years ago, I was told that was going to be a hunting preserve forever, which was fine with me. That they took good care of it. Then we were told that the town and county were getting together to buy it, to keep it forever wild, open spaces. And now that they're changing the rules on a parcel of land that was originally bought to preserve farmland, and they're going to develop that, and they're going to develop 170 some odd acres on the south side. There's no protection for the residents in Northville. Will there be any fencing? Will there be any protection for the property owners there? What's going to happen to the herd of deer or several herds of deer that are in there when the campers come in? There's got to be a lot of planning in this thing. I think it's disparaging to take that piece of property, as pristine as it is, and put a campsite in there when you got a campsite at Indian Island. You got campsites all over Suffolk County, and within just several miles of here. And then to encourage a sprinkler park when you have the Long Island Sound. I mean, we got a beach down the block, Iron Pier Beach. There's beaches all over Riverhead, and we're going to put a sprinkler park in, and we're going to have week-long stays in cabins. I mean, why don't we just open up a motel there? I'm not being facetious. I think it's destroying that property, and I know it's not good for us as neighbors of that property.
Well, the alternative, sir, if it were sold, it's 2-acre zoning.
I know what the alternative is, but with all the wetlands in there, and all due respect, Mr. Walter, there's enough wetlands in there that would preclude a lot of building that people think they can.
That wetland portion is going to stay preserved. The northern portion of that is staying preserved. They're only developing the blue area off of Sound Avenue, which is developed already. They have the clubhouse there.
I understand
They
that.
have other stuff there, so that's the only portion they're developing.
All the people who live in Northville are acutely aware of what's there. I mean, the bill that runs that preserve is a very nice fellow. If you have a problem, you call him up and it's solved. But what I'm saying is that there's people who are going to come after us. And that 300 and some odd acres is going to be gone. Because the 170 or 80 acres down south is going to be developed for parkland. You're going to have horseback riding, you're going to have bicycle trails, jogging trails, and that's going to be expanded. And I don't think it's good for us. I think when the original concept was to keep that forever wild, that should be the concept that goes. And I know Suffolk County is a controlling entity, but I know that you can voice objections to these plans and keep them at a minimum if it's necessary. That's all.
I believe that the portion to the north is being purchased with Community Preservation Fund money, and that would allow passive recreation, not active recreation. So the parcel to the south would be the parcel that is being purchased with drinking water money, and that is the portion that is permitted to have active recreation.
I
So-
understand that, but it's just like everything that's done by government seems to change at times,
You're absolutely right.
And perfect place for this park is at George's farm. That's perfect, right, George? You got that acreage there.
How do I get involved in this one?
He's not selling his property to the county.
I'm just saying that there's other
No, but you make a
places-
good point. As a hunting preserve, if that could stay like that forever, we're all better off. Because we'll still have their tax revenues, and it would be, wild, but we can't predict the future.
And it's unfortunate that the 2004 master plan didn't identify that that was a hunting ground and zone it as such, because it seems to be nowadays preservation through zoning is a key phrase that is hitting a lot of government officials, and that acquiring the property and maintaining the property and not realizing any tax benefits from the property is
Jody,
not good for the
only not
taxpayers.
realizing any tax benefits, realizing that Suffolk County has to pay for that maintenance, and who are they going to tax?
I know.
I mean, we're taxed to hell. My taxes are $22,000 a year for my house. Why don't you buy my property too, and I'll get the hell out? I mean, seriously, it's crazy because that property is just so beautiful, and it's a shame to destroy it.
Well, I don't mean to be facetious, but there was a subdivision plan laid out, and the south side would be prime for development, so that could be the alternative. And we as a board have to balance these requirements of the property owners against the school district, against the neighborhood, and try to figure out what the right balance is.
But that was when it was going to be sold privately to private entities, And
But
this
I
is-
also think Suffolk County has another alternative motive. They said it's gonna bring economic purchases out here to our stores in Jamesport and along Sound Avenue. But the county gets all of the sales tax. So every time someone purchases something in one of our stores, the sales tax goes to the county. We do not get any portion of that sales tax. So I think this will generate more sales tax for Suffolk County, for them to put into the county taxes.
Well, that's wonderful, but we're not going to share those taxes.
They don't not share their taxes.
And we're going to share the burden and the destruction of pristine property. That's all I'm.
We're only one or two counties that do not share the sales tax with the towns or villages in New York State.
All right, does anybody else wish to be heard on this? What we're going to do is close out the public comment portion and leave it open for written comment until the 26th or Friday, 26th of August at 4:30 p.m. in the town clerk's office. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Yeah, someone else that wanted to speak.
Did you want to speak, sir?
Yes, if I could.
Yeah. I closed it out, but I'm going to open it back up. We're going to reopen the public portion.
Second the motion.
Okay.
I'm Tony Yaruso, and I live up on Sound Shore Road, Hamlet of Northville. Really not the other guy you think I am.
Santa Claus.
I think I saw you in December at the last meeting, right?
Yeah. I had a question. Is there a way of getting an active recreation statement of what it is, active recreation? Is that allowable for just this, this, and this? What is it, active recreation entail?
Active recreation is anything, baseball, soccer, all those sports. The only thing, it's not walking trails and stuff, it's active
What you would see in a regular park.
participation. It's active participation.
I'm sure it's gotta be defined somewhere.
Yeah, where's the definition of it? Is there a way of getting a definition of active
My
recreation?
recommendation is speak to Ed Romaine, because this is going to be governed by the county.
Yeah.
Right. And Suffolk County Parks, actually, Tracy Balone.
Well, I would like to see if we can't get that, and
Okay.
we'll speak to Mr. Romaine, or if the town could too, so the town would know where we stand on active recreation.
I'll
Does it include motorcycles, bungee jumping, all of those crazy things that, all of a sudden you have a couple of splish splashes in there and all kinds of things going on?
I'll speak to
And
Ed
I don't
Romaine.
think that's the intent
If you could
of.
give your name and phone number, so I can give you a call.
Surely.
After I speak to him, I'll call you.
Tara, Tara out there? Yeah, Tara McLaughlin, my chief of staff, if you could give her your name and information, she'll give it to Councilman Dunleavy. She must have went back in the office.
And the second thing I had was the acquisition of the approximate 2.6 acres, which is really what the hearing is about tonight. What is the intent or the reason for buying that parcel, that 2.6 parcel? Why do you want that? What does that little notch entail that you want for that?
I can't see the map either.
Bob?
Emery's not here, right?
Yeah, this was discussed by Deputy Town Attorney.
It's this little notch.
Yeah, I'm aware that we added that little notch. The understanding before was that I think it was 90-something acres of the entire 300 were being purchased for a sum of not more than $500,000. So this is actually involving the town in a greater percentage of the acquisition. I don't
Your
think question
makes
really
a
comes down to,
difference.
was that previously passive recreation or was it active recreation, correct?
No,
Because I know
I
you
have
said
two issues. One is, why are we buying that 2.6 acres? What is that about?
I'd have to get back to you. I don't know the answer.
It was part of the original acquisition.
I think it was part of the original acquisition, but
That was the meeting in December. was
I
for
think,
that 2.6.
I think the land was originally being partnered to be purchased by the town and the county. It's just we've changed the terms
Right. What
to
happened-
the 95-5 and the 90-10.
Right, we were just buying originally one specific portion of the property, which might have been that 2.6 acres, I can't see it. Our $500,000 was paying for one portion of the property, that was it. The county wanted us to spread so instead of us owning 100% of one portion of the property or a large portion of one portion of the property, they spread it out over the entire parcel. This decision was made to purchase this back in, I guess, December of 10.
Right.
It was the county came back and said that they wanted to change how we purchased it, where our money was allocated. And one of the critical questions here, and something that we've got to speak to the town, our farmland person, Anne Marie Prudenti, one of the critical questions is we can't use our CPF money for active recreation. And, that is something that we have to answer. But so everybody understands, we already agreed to purchase some portion of this property, a very small portion. Now the county's asking us to change the terms to purchase a little bit of everything.
I don't have the map from December of 2010 in front of me, but the resolution which described that purchase described the town and county share as being the sharing of the cost of purchasing a portion of the premises, which was the entire parcels, both the top piece, the parcel that's in green, and the bottom piece, the parcel that's in blue, and the sharing arrangement was covering 90.43 acres. As I said, I don't have that map readily accessible, so I don't know if the 2.6 acres that's delineated this evening was part of that 90 plus, almost 90.5 amount of acres that was considered to be purchased back in December, and which we actually voted to move forward with that purchase on. There was a later resolution that was adopted the second meeting, December 21st, I believe it was, to acquire that 90.43 acres, again, on a pure 90%, 10% share. But I don't have the benefit of that map, and I don't want to misspeak.
My concern simply is it bumps the active recreation into the passive recreation by 2.6 acres. 2.6 acres of the reserve portion is gone to active recreation. Having said that, I thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm sure there's a reason, probably topography. But I'm sure there's a reason.
Does anybody else wish to be heard? Yes. Sir.
Sorry. If the county is changing the way they are asking you to purchase it, is it, so then it's not a done deal in terms of the way that you present it to them or the conditions with which you purchase it, correct?
Correct. If we choose not to adopt this resolution, we're not going to be involved at all.
Because then
Well,
to
except for what
follow
we're
up
authorized.
what Tony said, that the north portion of the property was set aside for passive, which would be in keeping with really all the wildlife and the just what we had kind of hoped for. Is there a way that when you present this to the county and it goes through to the county that we can define it and prevent it from ever being the activities that would be a portion of, because it does seem like things constantly change. I mean, I thought that part was set in stone, that this would be passive, but my fear is that it will creep in and what we consider active and passive is not what the county considers active and passive.
Well, there was always supposed to be an active recreation portion of this.
On the south,
always.
on the south
end,
parcel, right.
But the real issue that I need to get answered from Anne Marie Prudenti is, can we even accomplish this? In other words, our CPF money is not to be used for active recreation. And if that's what we're supposed to be using CPF for, we may not even be going forward any further with this at all from a town's perspective.
I don't understand. I know Southampton buys bowling alleys with their CPF money. So, so I mean, and Boy Scout and Girl Scout
They might have
camps.
got in trouble for that one.
Well,
Unless
so
it's
I don't
historic in
know
nature.
if we can or cannot use that, I've heard the other towns do, but we have to see what our attorney says.
Okay, because I would encourage that northern portion to remain really truly passive, where it doesn't change state, it doesn't have anything paved, it doesn't have, I mean, trails.
I think it's too sensitive an area to do anything with.
Absolutely. So that's kind of the guarantee. And I know it's government. There are no guarantees, but at this point,
There's good
when
government too, with conservancies and nature preserves and stuff like that.
I mean, as much as you can do to protect that area in writing and not make it vague with just the word passive, that would be something that we would encourage.
But I
Thank you.
thought the first public hearing was for the green portion,
No.
and
No, yeah.
well, everything else was, the blue was all left out of it, because that was what they were using it for. It was 90-some acres. Yeah, so, and then they included the blue portion too now. So, that's what I understand.
But you're committed to keeping the green portion,
The green portion is the wetlands.
Yeah, that's not,
Okay.
that's not even up with.
That's already been approved, that we're gonna purchase that with the county.
and that has
What
no
this
active.
public hearing is for the blue
For the blue
portion now.
portion, right.
Yes.
Cindy, could I get the spelling of your last name?
Okay, does anybody else wish to be heard on this subject? Not seeing anybody, I'm going to, we'll close the public comment portion, leave it open to written comment till August 26th at 4:30 PM in the town clerk's office.
Can I make a motion?
You can make a motion. What do you make a motion?
I make a motion, we close the town board meeting and open
Oh, I always
the...
just do that anyway.
I'd like to hear through the comments on yours.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, we do it after we do the...
Oh, we didn't do the we have to do the comments and the resolutions. Are there any comments, Sal, on the resolutions? You're jumping the gun.
Sal Mastropolo, Calverton.
How you doing, Sal?
621,
Which one, sir?
621. Can you tell me the source of revenue for the appropriated fund balance?
Coming out of bid
Is that the
taxes.
taxes collected from the bid?
Yeah, that's their bid tax.
Yep.
Okay, so it's their fund and they're just moving it.
It's just Main Street.
Yeah, for 3 years they didn't spend much in there.
I just want to make sure it's not coming out of the general
No, it's
fund.
just
No.
Main Street.
Okay. 622,
And they're spending it well.
the next to the first resolved, I think you want the water department on copy, not the business improvement district, since they have nothing to do with that resolution.
Right, you're right. You're right.
624,
All right, hold on a second. Do you have that? 624?
These
yeah,
boilerplates, it's
624, you got 100,000 on the from side and only 95,000 on the to side.
Oh, you caught that, huh?
Yeah, nice try.
I know, we tried.
What's on 622? Should be Riverhead Water District instead of,
So it should be 95 from contingency, or is one of those numbers off?
Is Bill here?
Well, it wouldn't be a
Gary question.
Bill, it's Gary. Is Gary here? You know what,
Well,
Will?
you should have the attachment to yours, if you just check.
No.
No? Okay.
So you know what, we will do it, how about we do 75, 25? See how that works for him, and if we have.
Or you can change the 100 to 95 and save $5,000.
I like that better.
Or spend another
There you
resolution
go.
ratifying another.
95,000, sounds good, Sal.
Okay.
Yep, we'll change that to 95, and we'll do 70 and 25.
627,
They'll come back and try to spend it anyway, it won't matter.
in the please take notice on the attachment, shouldn't it be that the bid specifications are available, not the bids themselves?
One would write it that way if one wanted to be clear.
That's
So,
it.
Bid specifications.
Are available.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
That
Thanks,
the
Sal.
bid specifications are available. Please take notice that, no, not that the bid specifications. That the bid specifications are available. Okay, does anybody else wish to be heard on the resolutions? Not seeing anybody? Let's take them up. John, now we're ready for your.
Oh, wait, one more person.
Oh, okay, sir. You guys gotta move
Yeah,
quick.
come up here.
We move quick in this town. You wanna talk about something?
He's gonna talk about resolution.
Mr. Supervisor, members of the board, my name is Michael Cohen. I am the attorney for Villas at the Horizon condominium. I'd like to address the board briefly with respect to Resolution 626. From the outset of this condominium's life, it's been plagued with a variety of construction defects caused by improper building by the builder, the Wading Woods Associates LLC. Problems include driveways, front and rear porches, stoops, basements, site drainage. There's litigation pending, and the developer has done everything possible to delay the ultimate resolution of that litigation. Resolution 626, in my remarks tonight, are focused specifically on a small portion of the condominium which does have the benefit of bonding in place. And that is the roadways in the community known as Little Leaf Court and Acorn Court, and some natural area that is a buffer. These areas are still owned by the developer. They are designed to be dedicated to the town. The town has not accepted the dedication because of some disputes between the parties and now because of the defective condition of those areas. The roadways suffer from
I'm going to stop you. We're not probably going to vote on this because this was not discussed at work session. Nobody.
This is the first time we're seeing
Hold on.
it.
Did
so-
you
No,
guys-
I understand, but the residents in that development there want us to take over these roads. They're paying for snow removal and everything else, and I guess the site plan stated that we were going to take over the roads once they completed.
That's correct.
This has been happening for about 10 years now, and residents are being charged every year, whether it's heavy snow or light snow, and it's a dangerous condition at 25A and the entrance to Horizons. Cars coming out of development, if it's ice there, can slide onto 25A. I understand that these roads have to be repaired, and the town has to take them over at one point to help the residents in that community. And that's why this resolution is here tonight. It's for the roads and drainage of the roads, because they're not up to town specifications, and we would have to get them up to town specifications before we take those roads over.
That's correct. In addition to that, there is a sinkhole on the common property that will be dedicated to the town.
Right across from the entrance. I was
Exactly
there,
right.
I was watching it. At the time, they had barricades up there because it was encroaching on that first house, if you look at it on the left-hand side.
That's correct. There are also children who live in and who visit the community that they're worried about, so it's been snow fenced to try to protect against that.
Yeah,
Almost 2 years ago today, in August of 2009, a resolution was adopted by this board holding the sponsor in default. That was resolution number 791 of 2009. That resolution was adopted, but it was never put into effect because there was some litigation between the developer and the town, and there were meetings that were held by which the developer asked for an opportunity to correct these defects himself before his bond got called. Approximately 1 year ago, I and representatives of the condominium and representatives of the developer got together with an assistant town attorney, with Mr. Gaudiello, and the developer again asked for time to correct the defects. Mr. Gaudiello made a listing of the defects that had to be corrected. He made a specification, and since that time, the developer has done nothing, and these problems have only worsened, and these dangerous conditions have only worsened.
Mr. Gaudiello and I went out there and inspected, and that's how we got all these problems with the roadway and the drainage and that stuff.
Bob, is there a time problem here? In other words, is this bond about to expire? Is this why it was put on?
Not that I'm aware of. This was one where I did have a meeting with Mr. Cohen and the representatives who are the board members who are standing behind him. There was a 2009 resolution, as indicated, adopted, and I indicated I would try to get this on for tonight's meeting, which I did late, as it is, and it was something that we are hoping to get moving forward on, because we have been unsuccessful in getting any
Well, certainly by reading
movement
this
in the
resolution, you can see the chronological history of.
It does not recite everything that's
Yeah, but
going
it
on
looks
here,
like it's been
obviously.
going on for 10
There's been more. It could have gone on for more pages.
A little bit.
Yeah, but do we know that this surety that we're holding is going to be enough to complete the work, or is the town
The-
going to be liable?
The answer is, we had a meeting with Mr. Gaudiello, who was the one who did the estimate back in 2010. Based upon the nature of work, he estimates that the work to complete the necessary public improvements is approximately 1/2 of the performance bond amount.
Mr. Gaudiello's
You have that in writing from Betty?
I
Yes.
have it based upon us sitting down with him, with Mr. Cohen and the board of directors in the meeting that we had in the town board conference room
Mi-
over here.
Correct. In end of July 2010, Mr. Gaudiello estimated the cost of repair at approximately $37,000, and there is just over $94,000 remaining on the bond.
Is the board prepared to take this up? I mean, we really didn't discuss this as a board. Are we prepared to take that? I mean, you're satisfied, John?
Well, I'm satisfied because this can last another 5 years if we keep going on the way we're going. And I think something has to be done now to get this, to satisfy the town and to satisfy the residents of that area.
All right.
First of all, I don't understand why in a condominium we have public roads there. Usually they're all private, but seeing that this is public and it was on their site plan to be a public road and they approved it that way, the planning board, then we have to step up to the plate and do something. If not, then we're letting our residents down for the reasons that the developer just won't get off his backside and do something over there.
Right, but at the same time, I want to make sure that we're not interjecting ourselves in litigation between the sponsor and the homeowners association, or the members that are on the board that are not the sponsor. So I don't know where they are with the litigation, if there's litigation between the developer and the town, or the litigation is between the developer and you, and where we are with that litigation, because I don't want to do something that's going to interfere with that process.
There are 2 lawsuits pending. There's a lawsuit that was brought by the community, by the condominium, against the developer.
Mm-hmm.
That lawsuit is at its end stages. It is just about to be put on the trial calendar. There's been yet another delay by the developer because he hasn't paid his attorney. His attorney has made a motion now to be relieved as his counsel.
Oops.
The developer also sued the town. That litigation, the purpose of that litigation was for twofold. Primarily to compel the town to release the bond on the developer's theory that he properly performed all of the public improvements.
And what is the status of that litigation, Bob?
Same.
That it's on marked for trial calendar?
Well, it's not marked for trial calendar
That's
yet.
correct.
There have been numerous adjournments in order to try and fashion a stipulation of settlement that would have taken into consideration both actions. Those stipulations have not been able to, or those settlement discussions have not been able to reach a successful end.
And there's no stay on they didn't ask for a TRO or anything?
They had moved by order show cause to stay the town from taking action on the bond. Apparently thereafter the town and the parties met. There is, from what I understand from looking at the file and looking at the court website, no current TRO in effect, no preliminary injunction in effect.
That's correct. There is no TRO and there is no preliminary injunction. And one was not requested by the developer.
I'm more inclined to vote on it now because I don't like the way the developer is conducting business. Jim, I see you're okay with voting on it. Jody, you want to wait, George?
You would buy a house, you
All right,
expect
well, I think you're going to get your vote.
And these weren't inexpensive
Thank you.
houses.
All right.
I have with me this evening 2 members of the Board of Managers.
Well, introduce yourselves, sirs.
Sure. My name is Robert Turano, Turano, and I live in Wading River.
Me too.
I think what I was going to, yes, I know, sir. What I was going to say, I guess, is just reiterating what Michael Cohen just stated. So maybe I'll just bypass that.
I'd bypass it. You have 4 votes, maybe 5.
Fine. It is 9 years going on 10 years, Mr.
That's right.
Donovan. You're
That's-
right.
I don't
It's a
like
long
to get
time.
sued.
And I do have some photos for the. Would you be interested? I mean,
We knocked on, in 2009, John, and I think that actually the 4 of us on this side knocked on all the doors in there. We saw the problems and talked to many
Right.
of your residents.
Great.
So
Yep.
I imagine it's probably worse now than it was in 2009.
just that one thing is that sinkhole, which is adjacent to Unit 21.
Right.
I am 22, so I walk around all the time, and so does Mike Meismer.
Well,
It's
wasn't
getting-
that, excuse me, wasn't that supposed to be a drainage
Yes,
to begin with?
yes.
That's why it was left.
It's a recharge area.
Actually, they were supposed to clear that out, but they left it in a natural state, I understand.
It is. in a natural
Because it's
state.
all overgrown now.
Yes, it is.
And I don't know what kind of drainage that would make with it being overgrown, where he was supposed to take the trees out and make that into a drainage area. That's where the sinkhole is.
Why don't you submit those pictures
Yes.
Oh,
to
sure.
the clerk for the record?
They're all dated, somewhere about a month old, and these 2 are just today. That is the cesspool cover, which is at Unit 21, and it's getting closer. I don't know, it's by the day, I guess, but you can't see it. You know, you go back 2 or 3 months and you see that the sinkhole is actually closer to that cesspool cover than it was last
Can I
month.
see the pictures, Dave?
And when was it that you sat down? I just want to make sure that the estimate that our town engineer is current and that the 94,000 will cover the work that needs to be done.
The $37,000 estimate was from July of 2010, last summer.
Thank you.
But we did meet most recently, I think it was the second day of August. So that was when we
About a year
met
ago.
with,
prices will be a little higher.
of
This
this
year.
month. This
Oh,
month.
this month.
This month, there was a further meeting held with Mr. Gordiello, Mr. Cohen,
I'm sure it'll be a little
and,
higher, but there's plenty to cover.
And if my recollection is correct, Mr. Gordiello reaffirmed at that meeting that there was ample money from the bond to take care of these defects.
Other than that, it's a really nice community. I liked it when we walked in.
It's a lovely community, other than
Very
that.
nice.
I started to walk, but I fell in a sinkhole.
The other gentleman want to speak, or?
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time. My name is Michael Meismer. I live at 31 Acorn Court. And beyond reiterating everything that you've heard already, again, I bought my unit back in April of 2002, and I received my perspective to read over. And it specifically said in there, at some point in time, the roads would be dedicated to the town of Riverhead, and would include all the snow removal and the refuse removal. And here we are. It's 2011, and we're still in this situation. And it's at that point that something has to be done.
Not a
to
problem.
take care of it. Thank you very much for your time.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Does anybody else wish to be heard on resolutions?
No.
Because Steve knows he's jumping up now. Mr.
Good
Romano, how are
evening.
you doing, sir?
Good. Steve Romano, Riverhead. This opens a can of worms as a president of a condominium, and that how can the town administration or officials create a condominium with public roadways. As we all know, condominiums do get a tax benefit property-wise based on the way they're not evaluated. Yet this condominium, and hope they don't take offense, are going to have snow plowing that every condominium pays for.
Steve,
It sounds.
I agree with you 110%. And there's two condominiums on 25A right in the same spot that somehow the planning board approved it. And it was in the, I guess, in the prospectus, because as this gentleman said, that the town was going to take the roads. And I know with fire department, for fire infrastructure, water infrastructure, now we don't allow the condominiums, as we have problems in yours. We don't allow that for the water infrastructure. We keep that now and take easements. But I'm going to talk to the planning department because this is odd. I don't think we should have done this.
By the way, it's a
Don't
great
forget-
idea if you want to take over our
Don't
roads and
forget,
our infrastructure
This
too.
was done 10 or 11 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
It's
well,
just was.
probably
I
11 or
listen. I
12
wasn't
years
going
in
to
the
speak, but
planning
it,
process.
it's pretty weird
So
that.
I don't know what the rules were at that time for condominiums.
Yeah.
And so when they approved these roads to be taken over by the town, I was upset when I seen it.
But I am
And,
correct. They would get snow plowing, trash
You are
removal, but
You
would.
got to do everything in there.
But would they pay the taxes of that? I mean, I don't know how you work that out. I mean, maybe it
They'll
was.
pay- They have, you're right, the taxes on condominiums are a little bit more favorable than a single-family residence, but they'll pay highway taxes. They'll pay garbage
Sanitation
taxes.
tax, right.
They will pay taxes. Garbage tax will be, sanitation fee will be the same for you and for everybody.
Yeah, no, I was just curious. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Does anybody else wish to be heard on the resolutions? Not seeing anybody. John, can we get a motion?
Okay, I'd like to make
We
a
have
motion.
somebody
We
else.
go- What? We got
I'll
somebody?
take the opportunity to say thank you
Oh.
and take the boys out because I know you're going to be going to the voting on the resolution.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I hope it was as exciting for you as it is for us.
Give yourself 2 badges for today, okay?
Now they're going to persuade me that they paid attention.
They all want that merit badge. Huh?
Sir, you can, they're a good group. You can come back anytime you'd like.
The only person I saw sleeping was Mitch.
Thank you.
Okay, John, can you get that
Now I'd
motion?
like to make a motion that we close the town board hearing and open up the Riverhead Community Development Agency meeting.
All
So
in favor?
moved.
Oh, okay, vote on that, Diane.
Iglio,
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes, thank you. Okay, Chris, all you.
Resolution number 12 is authorization for the chairman to sign a license with the Department of Navy.
So moved.
And I will second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes, trustee Kempner.
The resolution was therefore duly adopted, and that completes the business of the CDA.
I make a motion, we close the Community Development Agency meeting and reopen the Riverhead Town Board meeting. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go. Is that better, Diane? Okay, go ahead, Diane.
Okay. Resolution 620.
I'm making sure the addition's correct.
That's you.
Oh, was that one of the ones we're adding?
No, I just double
No,
checked.
he's adding it
Okay,
up to
it
it.
adds up.
Let's make sure
Right, it's the
it
Town of Riverhead Home Improvement Program budget adoption. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 621.
Business Improvement District budget adjustment. So moved.
Unseconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
I'd like to say that the bid is doing a heck of a job downtown, bringing in all this entertainment that downtown Riverhead has. It's bringing a lot of people to the town of Riverhead, supporting our restaurants, and if any stores stay open, supporting the stores. So,
Wait a minute, if any, they're all staying open.
I have to say, yes to this resolution.
And we're getting more.
I don't know what stores stay open after 5 o'clock at night.
Well, when there's a bid event, they do.
A bit of that they do? Okay, I will check that.
Voodoo, man.
Okay. I know all the
Walter.
restaurants are open.
What are we voting or
Yes.
something here? Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 622.
Water Department budget adjustment as amended to read that
Wrong one.
Water Department and strike Business Improvement District.
Okay.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 623.
Militello condemnation budget adjustment. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 624.
Plant 16, new well construction capital project budget adjustment for $95,000. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
As amended, yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
As amended, yes.
Walter.
Thanks, Sal. Yes. $5,000 in your pocket.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 625.
Recreation budget adjustment. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 626.
Declares Wading Woods Associates LLC in default regarding condemnation map entitled Map of Wading Woods, AKA Horizon at Wading River. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote please. Giglio.
Based on the statements by the town attorney that we have ample money to do the improvements and that there is no temporary restraining order against the town and we can call in this bond, I'll vote yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes, this is regarding the condominium map, not
Yes.
the condemnation.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
thank you. And my glasses.
Dunleavy.
Yes, I'm glad we're finally doing this.
Walter.
Yes, and thanks, John, for looking into this.
The condemnation map will come next.
Resolution
No.
adopted. Resolution 627.
Authorizes submission and publication of a notice of bid availability for the home improvement project. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
As amended, to where it says this bid, the bid specifications are available at Town of Riverhead, yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes, as amended.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 628.
628 appoints a maintenance mechanic 2 to the sewer district. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, I'm gonna say that, I want to commend the town board. We're hiring a Riverhead Town resident for this position. We have to keep our residents working, and, he belongs to the Riverhead Fire Department, so he's a very, good kid. So I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
And it's replacing a position where someone retired, so we're not creating a new job,
Right.
it's a replacement position.
Resolution 629.
Extends the terms of resolution number 157. So moved.
And second it.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 630.
Awards bid for janitorial supplies, so moved.
And seconded.
This is like my favorite bid. Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 631.
Appoints a fill-in seasonal beach attendant to the Recreation Department. So moved.
A second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 632.
Authorizes execution. I'm sorry, consent order. Scavenger Waste District. So moved.
That's what it says.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded as to the vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yep.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 633.
Adopts local law amending Chapter 108 entitled Zoning of the Riverhead Town Code. It's the Downtown Center 5, Residential DC 5 Zoning Use District. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, this is something that Councilwoman Giglio fought for, and so I'd like to thank her, because we're going to have office and residential above the offices in downtown.
Hopefully.
So I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 634.
Authorization for supervisor to sign license with Department of Navy, so moved.
John.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please. Doesn't matter.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 635.
Authorize the supervisor to execute auction service agreement with PropertyRoom.com Incorporated. So moved.
A second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 636.
636 authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement authorizing the town to accept funds from the Suffolk County Sheriff's Department to assist the county in Operation Shield exercises. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 637.
Authorization for the law firm of DeVitt, Spellman Barrett, LLP, to defend Institute of Peer in legal action entitled Field Day LLC, ETAL versus County of Suffolk, ETAL, I guess the case number CV-04-2202. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Who we defending here?
Your chief.
I don't know. Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 638.
Authorizes settlement of legal action by Michael J. Barton against the town of Riverhead, so moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
I wasn't here, I'm going to abstain from this.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 639.
Authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with L.K. McLean Associates Incorporated. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
This is for the topography study? Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 640.
Approves the defense and indemnification for Robert J. Hubbs. So moved.
And seconded.
This one was in if you want to table it, because this is,
Yeah, I don't know that I know anything.
yeah. I mean, I can explain it to you, but if you want to talk about it, we'll take action.
So it's nothing, it's not,
I mean, it's been an ongoing one where we have current litigation. He was doing nothing else but sitting in a town car.
Oh, when he ran into the side of him.
That's correct. This is one where there was a police chase and the other motorist was attempting to evade the police.
Oh,
And-
yes.
And he was,
Poor Rob was just
he
sitting
was
there.
named simply because he was sitting in the car at the time at the intersection of,
Okay, not a problem.
I think either Maple or Union or Ostrander by East Main Street.
Okay, that's fine. Did we second on that?
Yes.
A vote, please?
Giglio.
yes,
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 641.
Approves Chapter 90 application of the Riverhead Country Fair Committee. That's the Riverhead Country Fair, which will be October 9th, 2011. So moved.
Moved and seconded?
Oh,
Oops,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Jody hasn't said yet.
second, yes.
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Giglio.
I would just like to ask the town attorney if we have all the proper insurances in place for this event.
Certificate of insurance has been received.
So it's certificate of insurance
Fourth
has been
whereas.
received, name is on registration.
Fifth whereas.
I know we have a certificate of insurance. I think the question probably deals with the 1, 2, 3, 4th resolve, which deals with alcohol beverages, and
They have to have insurance?
I think what we're looking
This is
for.
kind of a quasi-town event for you guys.
Yeah.
This is not a private event.
I know that we did receive insurance. I saw an amended certificate come in today from the town covering this event.
We do this every single year.
Not in every single year, only 36 years.
I mean, I can't say with certainty. I did not see.
We
a
will have the
certificate of
insurance before
I can
the
tell you,
event.
I saw a certificate of insurance. I did not personally review it. I do not want to make a statement that I saw it. I'm presuming my office did in preparation of it.
You're
but I-
comfortable getting a copy of the certificate of insurance before the October 10th event?
Certainly. If that's what I'm asked to do, we will get a certificate of insurance and make sure everyone sees it before the
Okay.
event.
Okay, that's fine with me. Not gonna hold up this country fair.
Nope.
Where are we?
Wait,
The vote.
Actually, wait.
Are you voting or second? You're not
No, we're voting.
seconding it?
I think we're up to the vote.
Abstain.
Okay. Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Gee, since I've been on the country fair committee for about
Then why don't you have
25
your
years,
certificate to
I
vote?
think I have to abstain too, because it's my affair, so I'm gonna abstain.
You gonna abstain?
Yeah, I really should, since I sit on that
All right.
committee.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 642.
Authorization to extend contract to Long Island Truck Parts, so moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Giglio.
Yes,
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 643.
Okay. Approves the Chapter 90 application of the Riverhead Business Improvement District Management Association for the Classic Car Exhibit. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Giglio.
yes,
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, and just to speak on this, every Thursday night at 5 o'clock, if you go down to the Peconic parking lot, they have a classic car, and it is beautiful down there. They have music, they have classic cars in it every Thursday during the summer and fall. And we have to thank our supervisor for that, because he got them moved from Wading River into Peconic Avenue parking lot. And it's amazing what cars are down there. So if you want to look at these classic cars, and there's numerous of them, all over the place down there, different years, come on down on Thursday night. I vote yes.
Okay. Walter?
Thank you, John. Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 644.
644 approves the Chapter 90 application of the Long Island Moose Classic Car Club for their Classic Car Show to be held September 11th, 2011. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 645.
Authorize the supervisor to execute professional service agreement with Munistat Services Incorporated. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 646.
Ratifies the authorization for the town clerk to publish and post a public notice, New York State Department of DEC Notice of Complete Application. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 647.
Authorize town clerk to publish and post a public notice to consider a local law to repeal and replace 108-131 of Chapter 108 entitled Zoning of the Riverhead Town Code, and that's site plan review, application procedure, and fees. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Public and post, yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes, it only took a year, Dominic, but, you know.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 648.
There's a resolution of support for the development of a complete streets program. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, but can we have some discussion? Does this obligate us to do something?
No, it's just
No,
recognizing
it
it.
obligates the builders, they have to comply with the complete streets program. When
Did
they
we-
It's encouraged.
Did we
put their
talk about-
application into the planning
Did we
department.
talk about creating a committee?
Yes, it's in here.
That's in there?
I just don't want
It
to
says-
obligate us to
No,
anything.
it says where it supports. The concept is supported by the federal DOT, the New York State DOT, the Institute of Traffic, whereas the towns, blah, 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 have adopted complete streets policies, whereas encouraging pedestrian, bicycle, and public.
This is directing a working committee comprised of representatives from the aforementioned town departments, divisions, provide take the necessary step to draft sustainable complete streets policy report within 120 days. I mean, Jody, are you meeting with these people? Are they ready to, 120 days, that's not a long time. Are they ready to do this? I mean, this is gonna be a lot of work, and somebody's gonna have to sit with them and make sure they do it.
Yeah, Gio's already done most of the work in identifying roads that, where the right-of-ways could be expanded to provide clear paths for
But it's
bicycle and
not
pedestrian.
Geo, it's a policy
As
report.
related by
This
town
is-
supervisor and regulatory boards, so this committee would be somehow.
I mean, we haven't
You're
even
gonna
named
have
it.
to
Tied in with
change
a regular
the
board.
policies as far as the planning department's concerned.
Right, so I,
Well, we have a representative from the planning department.
We can take
We
this
could
up.
table it if you'd like,
I
and then
think
discuss it
we'll
at
do
work
discussion.
session, and I'll put together the policy
Yeah, I'd
first,
like
and then
to
we'll
see
adopt
the-
it simultaneously.
Well, I'd like to see the committee and know
Sure.
that we got somebody that's gonna,
Yep.
all right. Yeah, you just wanna make sure that we're going,
I think we can do it, but,
well, I mean, I don't wanna say,
well, if you want to look at it more as
Well,
far as how
I
we're
just
going to
wanna make
hold
sure
of
we-
our end of it, that's fine, we can.
yeah, I wanna make sure that we can do it. 120 days is, the clock starts ticking, and if the committee isn't ready to start working.
Yeah, no,
They're
I'm out for 3
ready.
months.
Yeah, you're running an election.
okay, so we're gonna.
Jody, you're it.
Okay,
okay.
Motion.
We'll,
all right, I have a
we'll put together
resolution for
policy.
support of development of complete streets program, I'd like to table that.
Okay.
I second the
You're
table.
gonna withdraw your other motion.
It was never seconded, I don't believe.
No,
That was, I didn't second
Seconded,
it,
okay.
Thanks for asking.
but I second the table.
Okay. We vote as the table?
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Okay.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
The resolution has been tabled.
Let's put the committee together first, and
We've got it,
make sure that
but we'll
they're ready
start
to
setting
go.
up meetings, and we didn't want to start setting up meetings and establish a committee until we adopted the concept for Complete Streets, because in that concept, it recommends putting forth a committee, and so then we could establish a committee, and the town board could look at resumes and adopt the resolutions appointing the committee before they begin their work, so.
Us
Paying
picking a
these people.
committee within 120 days.
That'll
When
be
the
tough
work-
enough.
That's right. When the
We have
work
some
is supposed to
members
be
of the
done in
committee
120
that
days.
I think everybody will agree with, but we'll talk about it at work
That's
session on
it.
You're
Thursday.
saying you take
Huh?
the reps from the different town departments and all that, so that may be.
Jody.
Well, Karen's coming in from planning, as Sean requested.
Resolution 649.
Go ahead.
649, authorization to rebid for truck parts for the town of Riverhead. So moved.
And second it.
Hold on a second. How much time did she give?
September 8th.
September 8th?
Wrong date, the submission was posted, the website had the wrong date, which is why we had to
Yeah, but is that enough time until September 8th? This is going to be bid on the, put in the 25th. Why we keep giving these short?
because everybody that bid knows.
We're going back to a week.
Okay,
Huh?
I
thought
mean, I
it was
think
30
it's,
days.
I
I
think
thought
this is a little too short time
Yeah,
frame
I thought we
here.
were giving everybody 30 days to bid.
I think that everybody that bid was aware of the foul that's going to be submitted,
Except the one that didn't know about it.
or the one that did the website, also knows about it now.
You want to do it? Well, I don't mind doing a week, but if we wind up back extending the Long Island truck parts, we'll know why.
And there's typos too, in the third paragraph up on the second page, exceptions to the specifications.
Specifications.
I just think a week is too short for them to get it out and to submit a bid.
So,
And I thought we increased it to 30 days the last time when this was discussed.
Do we need, I mean,
Can we table this and have her, I mean, we.
Why?
Can we
have-
change the date?
We can
No.
change the
Can we
date.
change
Yeah,
it?
let's just change the date.
Okay, let's
Then
change,
you're talking September 7th.
all right, let's change the
Let's
date.
just change
So
the
you wanna
date.
let-
Let's, Diane, what's a good date for you to open this place?
I don't
I'm
know.
laughing at
We-
the exceptions to specifications.
Specificate
You might want to get her to spell these correctly too, these words.
That would be a good idea.
I mean, we have a current
21
contract for
days.
truck parts, right?
So it's 21 days from here, from the 8th would be,
21 days from the 8th or
No,
21
the
days from
29th.
the 25th?
right?
Right, so it's that, remember the calendar again?
That should fall within the same day.
What do you want to know?
the 23rd.
Yes, tell us.
What do you want to know?
21 days from the 25th, is that what you're looking for?
So it's 30 days.
Yeah, from the 25th.
It's 4 weeks.
25th. So you want 3 weeks from the 25th?
Yeah.
1, 2, 15.
Oh, September.
September
What
15th?
day of the week is that?
Thursday.
September
All right.
15th?
September 30th?
15th.
September
and
15th.
That's
It's
3
supposed
weeks
to be
total.
15.
Why?
21 days, 21 and 8 is not 15.
No, it's from the 25th of August.
From now. 21 days from now is 3 weeks.
Oh, no, it's just 30 days from now.
Give me a date.
21 days from the 8th.
And you want us to pick a committee?
Has to be the 29th.
Really? Is there
You're going 5 weeks out from today?
like, is there,
What?
You're going
We're
5
gonna
weeks
have
out
to
from today?
expend,
If you go to the 15th,
It's a month. That was been about
maybe
today.
there's a reason for that date. I
1 week is the
I
first.
think we have a
Right.
current
That's
contract.
14.
so what do you want to do, September 15th?
I think
Is
the
there an
15th is
extra-
3
all right,
weeks.
September 15th,
That's
sounds
okay.
good.
September 15th 's okay.
September.
We will
Okay.
not be without parts.
Thank you.
September 15th.
Okay.
And we'll start this
So you
over.
somebody let Mary Ann know? Can you let Mary Ann know?
Oh, I will.
Yeah, no, I think that.
Yeah, I will.
And the website?
And the webs, yes, we'll, okay, are we ready for the vote?
We're ready
On
for the
that
vote.
floor?
Moved
Okay.
and seconded, I believe we seconded?
Did we? Okay.
Vote, please.
Giglio.
As amended, yes.
Gabrielson.
As amended, yes.
Okay, Wooten.
What am I voting on here? Yes.
Yes, to the date.
Dunleavy.
As amended, yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 650.
Grant special use permit petition of Tronoff Realty Medical Building, so moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote, please.
Giglio.
I will abstain, he was a client of mine.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 651.
Pay the bills? So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution
We
adopted.
have one to come off.
Now, I make a motion that we take one resolution off the floor. So move.
This is authorizes the appropriation of additional monies to the Riverhead Business Improvement District Management
Didn't we just
Association,
do
Inc.
this? We did it. Gave him 40,000.
We didn't, yes, but we're voting on it now. You guys, we all signed something, now we're putting it.
No, we had.
No, we just had it in the resolution here.
That was a budget adjustment.
That was the
Oh,
budget
that was a budget
adjustment.
adjustment,
Yes,
okay.
this is the-
Okay.
Can we get a motion in a second to take it off the floor?
All right,
I second the motion to
There
take
you
it
go.
off the floor.
Okay, you vote on taking it off the floor.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Tara, the only thing I want is, I want to see the attached schedule. And I'll vote-
get it for you?
and I'll vote yes. No, I'll vote yes, but I want to look at it.
Okay. Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution 652 is taken off the floor.
Okay, I'd like to move 652, authorizing appropriation of additional monies to the Riverhead Business Improvement District Management Association Incorporated. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted.
Okay, that's it. Does anybody wish to talk to us about other matters? Dominique?
Thank you for the serenade,
See?
Jim. I haven't heard that song for many
He'll
years.
Say what?
Dominic,
The singing nuns?
he'll sing to you.
Well, I know. I've heard him sing and whistle and sing. So, a couple of things. First, I'd like to thank you. Oh, Dominique Mendez, Riverhead Neighborhood Preservation Coalition. First, I'd like to thank you for moving forward towards having public hearings for site plans by passing Resolution 647. It's long overdue, and looking forward to the continued public discourse on that and eventual passing of that. Thank you. I want to start with a quick question for the public. If you can just answer when you expect the Wading River corridor study to begin?
Immediately, actually. I know it was on,
Just received the agreement signed by BFJ. I need to deliver it to the supervisor for his signature. It'll then be returned to Mr. Fish's firm, and I presume they'll start soon thereafter.
Okay, great. So in light of that, I have some comments. Tonight, I'd like to urge you to impose, and it should be no shock, a moratorium on the Wading River development plans so that the corridor study and comprehensive plan update might actually have a chance to save Wading River from being transformed from a small country like Hamlet into a typical Long Island town blighted by more stores and that most of us really don't need or want. Three groups, the group for the East End, the Wading River Civic, and the Riverhead Neighborhood Preservation Coalition, and I speak on behalf of the RNPC, have all been urging the town to impose a moratorium along this with the comprehensive study since last fall. Unfortunately, this board is not yet committed to this much-needed moratorium. Without a moratorium, the pending commercial plans could be approved while a study is being conducted, or at least before any zoning changes may be adopted. And that's regardless of whether or not these projects contradict the future recommendations of the study. A timeout is a no-brainer. After all, how can the study make an informed decision, or how can the town make an informed decision on a project if it is made before the results of the study are in? Does anyone on this board seriously believe that the corridor study and comprehensive plan update will have significant value if it is not able to impact how approximately 60% of the commercially buildable land is developed? Residents don't want to be placated by a board throwing money purportedly to address an issue while at the same time failing to put in place the required mechanism to allow the solutions to make a difference. During the 9 months since we began calling for a GEIS to study this area and the cumulative impact of these proposals, these projects have advanced. That's what makes the necessity of this moratorium crystal clear to us. Danowski, in fact, recently said of his client's project that the Nightland Mall is about to cross the finish line. Those are his words, not mine. I also want to remind you that it's now undeniable that many, many residents, taxpayers, and voters do realize that the town must halt its review of the current applications and impose a moratorium so that these projects will not undermine the results of the study. The correspondence report for this meeting notes that 111 postcards and emails have been sent to this town board to urge you to put a hold on these projects. Add that to the 135 already received over the few days before that, and that's 246 individuals and families. I'm talking about residents of Wading River and the surrounding areas, conservatives and progressives, and owners of a growing number of small businesses who all recognize the imminent threat of to their quality of life and or their business if these plans were to go forward. And that's 246 as of today. So while we are really very appreciative and thankful that this board has acknowledged a few months ago that there's a problem in Wading River that needs to be addressed and that a study should be commencing soon, I hope that at least 3 of you can set aside what appears to be your philosophical discomfort long enough to do what you are seemingly bound to do by common sense and duty, to impose the moratorium that is needed to ensure that the study you have commissioned is not compromised before it starts, and that all acceptable recommendations can be implemented. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Dominique. Sal?
Sal Mastropolo, Calverton. I sent an email today to Gio and I copied the board.
Yes.
I just wanted to bring it up in public.
There's nobody there. Went by there 10 minutes after I got the email.
Well, the situation.
Tell me what the email's about, because
Okay, I know because you forwarded it to your staff, right?
Well, I get about 600 at a time, so.
The house on the corner of Gregory Way and Sound Avenue has now become a chiropractor's office, okay? And the people that come to go to the office park either in his expanded driveway or out on the street, okay? And what I asked in the email was, can we get a no parking for like the first 125 feet from Sound Avenue going north on the west side of the street, because I had a situation this week where I was coming west on Sound to make a right into Gregory Way. There were cars parked on the west side of Gregory Way. A pickup truck was coming down the street, and he swung to the left to go around the cars. And guess what? As I came around the corner, I was looking directly at him.
You're now supposed to cut the corners.
Well,
Cut
you're
what
right.
corner?
Now you're
No,
supposed
it's
to go to the
blind until
middle
you
of the
turn
road
into
and
the
then make a
street.
left turn. But anyway, that chiropractor hasn't just become a chiropractor. He's been
Oh,
there
yeah.
for
No,
a
no,
while.
wait. He's been there for as long as I've been there.
Yeah.
But it's only in the last 3 or 4 months that he's opened the office in his house. He moved it from Riverhead to his house. Now, I don't have a problem with that because he expanded his driveway.
We do it all over town, Sal.
Right.
Parking here at the corner, that's not a big deal.
Okay. All right, that was the first issue.
I'll forward it to traffic.
Yeah, it's 21. We have a meeting, Thursday? We have a meeting Thursday, so we'll bring it up
That's not,
Thursday.
Okay.
Just for visibility, that's it.
It's for,
Yeah, there's no...
The west side of Gregory.
Yeah, the west side of Gregory.
West side of Gregory for,
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is.
for 20 feet or 25 foot.
The second issue is, can I get an update on the St. John cell tower status? I haven't heard about it.
My phone's not working. Which is
Huh?
My
They're
phone's not
preparing
working.
their environmental impact statement, as I understand.
They're preparing?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no moratorium on cell towers?
No.
And we haven't heard from the fellow we hired to represent us in this. He was gonna.
Anne-Marie
What
Prudenti
happened
was
with
going
that?
to, I don't think Anne-Marie Prudenti
We haven't heard a word
finished
from him.
doing what she was going to do.
He represents all the
And
municipalities
this was almost a
around
year
the
ago we
country.
hired the
What
guy.
do you want?
Yeah, no, we didn't finish up. We had to adopt a code provision and everything else. But we paused deck them, and they're all, I think, preparing impact statements.
Okay.
And you want a committee formed in 120 days?
Once we get the environmental impact study, that's usually forwarded to the consultant for their review, and then they report back to the board. So if we haven't received the environmental impact study, and I haven't seen it as the liaison to planning, then, we don't have anything to work with.
Okay. Another issue is with the recent rain, I mean, the water going down Sound Avenue was unbelievable, coming off a certain farm. And
Which farm, son?
Huh?
Which farm?
The Andrews farm.
Oh,
Okay.
Is that ditch still there that he made?
Yeah. Well, that's not what I'm here to talk
Cut
about.
out so it goes onto the road.
My understanding was there was a resolution passed to get an easement so that the highway department can put in some kind of a culvert there. Okay, a half pipe or something. Go back in the records.
First time I'm hearing about this, Al.
Okay. I don't have the records, but there was, take my word for it, there was an easement granted to the highway department to put in some kind of a half pipe catch basin to catch the water. Okay? And it goes back at least 1.5 years, 2 years. It may even go back before Geo's time.
Yeah, my recollection when I left the town attorney's office is that Andrews had to put in some drainage as part of their subdivision, which never really went through, but I thought they put that drainage in.
They put something in because they dug some big hole behind the hot houses, okay, and they created some kind of a, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a swale back there to catch the runoff,
Well,
or the
guess
water
what?
that comes on the farm field.
Guess what?
They made a little culvert so it goes into the road and goes down to Gregory Place.
11 inches in one day, ain't nothing catching nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll look into that.
Okay, and the last thing is a status on the ball fields. I keep asking this, and you keep telling me
No, well,
it's now almost the fall, and
yeah.
Yeah,
we were waiting for a highway cut.
Well, I
and
seen
Porta
out there,
Johns.
the highway cut's not been done. That's supposed to be done
Right.
by the end of August. But if you look, I see a couple work signs that have been set right there and turned into the park. So it looks like they're ready to turn them out. You know,
No, those are the work signs for the entrance to the cemetery.
I think
they're
that's what
redoing the entrance to the cemetery, so they have work signs up
on the south side.
on both sides.
Okay.
Yeah,
because it's a dangerous situation, I
Now,
guess, when they're working.
That's
We're at
another
the
thing
mercy of
that's
this contractor. Who's the
it's
contractor?
taken years.
Okay.
And
you, Sean,
We're told he's going to
It's
start.
just
may
that-
you also want to change the name on the sign. It still shows Phil Cardinale as supervisor on the gate that
Well,
goes
you
in
have
there.
another- Hey, the
That's
world
it.
has another
See?
chance.
Huh?
Let's wait till now.
That's right. Thanks,
Yeah,
Al.
you know, it's funny because I went over, I saw the Kozakevich one, and that one's so faded, I didn't worry about it, but I gotta go get get the other one down.
Okay.
Okay, hi.
Good evening.
Hi, if you tell us your name and hamlet for the record.
My name is Sherry Johnson. I'm from 213 Horton Court, Manorville, but I grew up on Corwin Street in town. And I'm here tonight because my parents still live there in the house immediately adjacent to Young and Young. And there are also several of their neighbors here tonight to talk to you about the situation that's developed on Corwin Street. Since the building supply moved out and that they started using the land for parking, there have been a number of issues over the years. Trash, dust from the crushed concrete, and now that they've put the fence up and the aquarium has really taken over and is charging for the parking, people are parking on the street, both sides of Corwin Street, and further down past the intersection on Ostrander. It's a safety hazard. They're blocking people's driveways. They're blocking the fire hydrants. I'm not sure what the answer is. It needs to be addressed either with no parking signs, one-side parking,
Probably could
something.
do one side. We did one side parking on Ostrander Avenue.
That's another thing.
Well,
It's moved up 2 blocks to where we are now.
I'm sure I'm.
Thursday,
I have room for
we have our
traffic.
traffic safety meeting.
Well,
And
I'm going to sit down and
and
let
that's
these
gonna
people
be
get up and
discussed
talk to you
Thursday at the
because I
traffic
know
safety
there's been
meeting.
near misses and there have been people blocked,
Yeah.
I drive down there
and
7
I'm
times
sure
a
they
day,
have
I live on
much
that block.
more.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have much more experience with it than I do just visiting. But you know, even pavement,
Chief?
if you can get paving there to cut down the dust, I'm not sure
Well, that's-
if it's a
we
town parking lot or
No,
what.
they own it.
No,
It's
No,
an
they
own-
own it.
Atlantis
They
owns it.
do. I don't understand why they haven't been made to pave it then. It seems to me that that's the standard in the town, and it should apply for that parking lot also. Thank you
Okay.
very
Chief,
much.
can you put that down for Thursday? Thank you.
Yeah, we actually discussed this last week at work session because it was brought up and we've gotten a few complaints and we are aware of the problem. And Councilman Dunleavy is going to be addressing it with the Traffic Safety Committee and they'll be coming back with recommendations on how to mitigate it, I guess.
I don't see a solution because I actually jumped in my truck today. It got so bad, I just had to take a look. I went down. Oh, I'm sorry, John Harrison, Riverhead. I took a ride down along the Peconic River. Almost all the parking lot spaces were taken. I took a ride down 2nd Street. Every available spot was taken. About from Ostrander, at least 3 blocks down. Every street in between it's just inundated with traffic, and it's not going to get lighter. It's going to get worse.
The only way we can solve it
Worse.
is put no parking on Corwin Street and that
But we have
streets there.
my house. We have
But
2
the
cars that
problem
park
we
in the
have
street.
is enforcement. We have
Maybe-
the police department is busy, so they're not. They write very few parking tickets, and our traffic control officers. We really only have 1 or 2, so and they're busy. So I'm going to try to get more traffic control officers for enforcement, so people who do park in no parking zones will be.
Well, I
ticketed.
just don't
And we
understand-
can end it that way because then the aquarium will tell people
I
not
know,
to
but
park there.
I think
From
with
day
this-
one, before Atlantis moved in, when the other company was trying to get up and going, they were projecting 1 million a year in visitors. I don't know how they were allowed to build the building without a parking lot.
They're in the,
That parking lot holds maybe 300 cars.
It is.
Every day, there's an excess of 500 cars.
They're in the parking district.
Every day.
I-
And the most horrible thing is these people come back from the aquarium, get in their cars, open the door, throw the trash on the ground, and then drive away.
Yep.
Every day. Every day.
I think
And then
that-
the dust situation is also serious. There is tens of thousands of pounds of waste soil piled up in the back of one of the parking lots. And that's one of the
Waste
biggest
oil?
contributors of the dust. Besides the cars making turns around
back
the
up for a
parking
second,
lot.
sir. Waste oil?
Waste soil.
Oh.
Soil that was removed from
Yeah, they were
construction
draining it.
and
It's
then
over on the
dumped in this parking lot.
It's on the west side over there, Union.
I think that in areas where there are residents and there are short, narrow driveways, there's not a lot of depth to the lots, that we need to really start looking at parking by permit only, where the residents would come in and say, I need 2 cars to park on the street, and you come in and you get your passes, fill out your license plate number, registration, and you get your parking passes, and those are the people that are allowed to park, so that there's parking available for the residents.
I just want you guys to know there's a lot of foot traffic on our street. And there's a lot of children in our neighborhood, and these people, they turn around in my driveway. They turn around my neighbor's driveway. They're not looking. I mean, there's kids on bicycles dodging cars. I'm there every day, so I got a 3-year-old in my house. I got a 3-year-old in the house next door. That's my biggest concern is these people looking for parking. They're not really paying attention to what they're doing.
Well, plus these are narrow streets.
Very narrow, and there's
Narrow.
no
So
markings
that
on the
makes
streets.
it-
There's no
That
curbs.
makes it worse for emergency vehicles.
You guys are going to have a problem with the drain on the south side of Corwin because people drive over that because there's no curb there to protect it, and
Corwin's a
people
pretty
park
wide
on
street,
it.
But when you line it both sides with the...
It's terrible.
It's
I
ter-
see people getting
Well, I
chased
live-
out of Young's
I walk-
parking lot.
I know exactly where you live. I walk past your house almost every day, so...
Yeah.
What would the
I mean, we've been kind of like dealing with it and just picking the trash off my front lawn every day because the prevailing winds blow it right directly into the front yard.
All right. Well,
and we've
can
been
do-
tolerant, and now it's just getting bad.
Okay, we can do a couple things. We can look at making parking on one side of the street. That may be helpful, correct?
Yes.
We can talk to Atlantis about paving the parking lot. That would obviously be helpful. It's
And then they've gotta
unfortunate. It is the problem that I'm trying to create parking downtown because if you haven't noticed, there's new stores, new foot traffic, new restaurants.
But you know what it is? Most of this traffic is from. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When we are going to have conversations with Atlantis, some of the problems are associated with them charging for the parking. Before they didn't charge for the parking over on Ostrander, so we'll have some meetings with them to see about that. They bought that property from the fire district, so I'm sure they're trying to figure out a way to amateurize that cost. But we will talk to Atlantis about paving, about the charging. I think we can look at, Chief, one way on Ostrander, Corwin. We did Ostrander already, parking. And then the other thing, I mean, we don't have a great number of signs down there. I think that there are still spots behind Woolworths and things that people could park. And we do have the firehouse to park, and we do own the firehouse now, so we could probably try to get some signs over there for Atlantis parking at the firehouse.
And also, Chief, one of the major concerns for me is when I drive down Corwin to cut up the Second, the visibility when they park in front of Iron Young.
Osborne,
southbound
Ostrander,
traffic.
Corwin you're going to have a bad accident
So
there.
if you
It's
could
going to
do
happen.
Same like you're thinking about Gregory Way, if you could do a swath at that corner, because you really can't see southbound.
You can't see
traffic.
anything, and you literally have to
So you're
pull
out in the
out
park.
into the intersection to see, because it's so narrow on both roads.
When the bus isn't doing a U-turn at the
Yeah, and then you got the
I think Chief, I think what would be a good idea, Gio and I were going to meet with one of the other residents. Why don't you see, they have the traffic committee, Thursday?
Thursday.
Is it this Thursday?
Yes.
8:30 in the morning.
I don't think they'll be ready to do what I'm going to ask. Why don't
We
you
could just get the ball rolling. I mean, I just want to make sure you guys are aware of. It's just
aware.
getting to the point where someone's going to get hurt.
It's going to die down in a couple weeks, though, because
Yeah. All right. Well,
Plus we
last
get
summer
that
it was
movie
6 months of straight pounding, boom, boom, and then putting the pylons in the
Yes,
ground.
but look what we have accomplished a lot in 18 months. I mean, there's people there, there's business. We've got 8 new businesses opened. It is.
Well, honestly, most of the people that come to this aquarium come in, eat there, and then leave. They're not doing any business in the town. They come and go. They're not.
Well, that's
they're not walking Main Street. They're not. They're not.
That's not really
I'm right in the
true.
middle of it. I'm telling you.
I'm
there every day.
Talk to the restaurant owners, and and there's new restaurants down there. There's 3 new restaurants. They're surviving. When's the
Well, that's
last
because
time
Atlantis prices are quite high.
So, but I mean, this is part of the price we have to pay. But Chief, what I think I'd like to suggest is if Rob Hubbs would give you an aerial depiction of all the streets down there. I think that would be a good thing to sit down and look at, and let's systematically go through and do it once. And I will talk to Mr. Bissett, Mr. Petroselli about the plans. I mean, they really are going to have to probably pave that lot. We're doing everything we can to promote Main Street, but we don't want to do it at the detriment of you guys. But I mean, there is always going to be, the goal is to have more traffic down there.
I'd like to see what's going to happen the day of the county fair, because there's going to be no parking anywhere.
Well, there never
we
is.
try to encourage all the parking to go to the county center and come to the park.
Yeah, there's never any park. I mean, you know that. How long have you lived there? There's never any parking at the town fair.
True, but now imagine another, 2 to 5,000 cars parked.
All I can imagine is a Main Street as vibrant as Patchogue. If you go to Patchogue, if you go to Huntington, it's, kind of the same. It's the same thing, and we need that. We're working towards that vibrant downtown. The question is, how do we accommodate the vibrant downtown without impacting the residents too much? I mean, there's always going to be an impact.
All right, but I mean, like you said yourself, there's a few restaurants doing well. The majority of Main Street is not doing well, and all that traffic can't be helping them either. All right, I've said enough. That's all I came to say.
We just opened up a new parking lot behind those rower stores off of.
I don't think you guys are ever going to be able to
Maple
keep up with
Avenue.
the traffic, because every
We
day it
opened up
just
that
seems to be
public
more.
parking now. So we're trying. We do have, it's great to do have a parking problem, because people are coming to the town of Riverhead, but we have to solve the parking problem, and that's what we have to look into.
I wish they'd put a several-tier parking garage instead of a hotel there.
That's true too. We can't afford that though.
25,000 a stall.
Yeah, we can't afford that.
No,
So
I
we
didn't
have
say
to
the
do other
town. I said
things.
Atlantis should build their own parking lot.
We're lucky to have. We're lucky we got them to build what they did where they did. I mean, if you look at other downtown
You know what? I mean, but that's like cart after the horse. I mean, if the downtown, all right, I honestly I don't want to get into an argument about it, but the Tanger thing is kind of triggered the downtown problem, and in this little Band-Aid, I don't see it
All right,
really
well,
fixing things.
We're
so.
going to keep plugging away to get stores on Main Street, and we will
Harris,
keep
next time I
working
walk
with you
past your
guys
house,
to
I'll give
try
you
to
a study
get.
that they did.
Okay, and somebody mentioned Thursday night or Thursday. There's going to be
Thursday,
Traffic
8:30 in
safety.
the morning.
I'll give you a study that shows
Okay.
that it's not,
8:30 in the morning
not
with me.
Okay.
mall shopping that
I'm
changes.
not in here to
If
give you
want-
guys a headache.
If you're available and want to come, you're welcome.
Okay, great.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
very much.
My name is Dorothy Haberman. I have lived on Corwin Street for over 60 years, and we have never had a problem like this until Aquarium moved in. I want to know who owns those parking lots.
Aquarium.
Atlantis.
The aquarium does?
They do.
Then they should be made to blacktop them because the dust we get is terrific. I can't even open my windows. And also when I try to hang my clothes on the line, they never come out clean.
I'm surprised
Never.
that they didn't have to go through a
And
site plan.
we have a problem with the parking on both sides of the road. I'm afraid some child is going to get killed because they're coming out, they're parking on the side where the traffic is moving. The children open the doors and get out, and I don't know how many times I've seen them just missed, because they don't look, the children, the parents are not taking them by the hand and letting them out. We have no sidewalks.
No, I was gonna
That-
say, there's no sidewalk up there.
No
That's why I don't know
sidewalks.
why they didn't go through site plan to improve sidewalks and drainage.
Right, and the drainage on Ostrander Avenue, they were there this morning checking them. They're not working the drains. And the drain, the water is all going into my neighbor's yard at 533 Corwin Street. She's got a puddle there almost as big as her swimming pool. So we're asking, please, put one side parking or no parking on Corwin Street.
Well, I think we can do one side is what I think we heard before because there's not enough parking in driveways. That we can take care of.
But you know, if we don't get enforcement, putting signs up on the west side of Ostrander Avenue, there's not supposed to be any parking. And I see cars parked there all day long.
Yeah, they're
You know,
parking right in
you
front
need
of
the
the fire
enforcement.
hydrant.
That's right.
And the police go by there and they do nothing. They should be ticketed, those cars parking in front of the fire hydrant. That's against the law.
Absolutely.
But they do nothing.
So, you know, we have a.
Okay, I'm leaving it up to you to please help us. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
I also live on
I have your name?
Patricia Sarenko. I live at 575 Corwin Street. And we don't have any sidewalks there. They're parking on our lawns, breaking our sprinkler heads. And when they leave, like they said, they throw the garbage on our lawns. And the cars, I walk my dog, I nearly got hit last week. There's so much traffic, and with cars on both sides of the street, they don't even see you. You have to risk your life walking on the street. I mean, like I said, I agree with my neighbors, and something has to be done about this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Back again. Housekeeping question. Why on one resolution where you appointed a beach attendant, you list the name, but then on the other one where you hired the maintenance mechanic, you don't list the name? Is that an error?
Third paragraph, third or fourth paragraph, you know.
What's
It's on
that?
there. Well, the
It's on
resolution
there.
is named.
Oh, it's in the resolution, but it's not on this.
Kyle Watts is
might
his
have
name.
missed that.
Okay.
His name is Kyle Watts.
But in other words, that's normal procedure to list the name of the person you're
Yep.
hiring.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
was in the
Just an
resolution. I
oversight.
didn't look at
That's
the.
Diane's department.
I didn't know why you did it with one and not the other,
No,
so
it's
it's
oversight.
not, it's a big deal.
Right under the bus, Diane.
I know.
Do you guys have a kind of update, and you may have it, and I just may have missed it, in regards to the town building that was destroyed in the fire, I think about a year ago?
It's, the bids were awarded last town board meeting. It's a 3-month construction process. They had their first construction meeting, and Almus is the vendor. They're putting together their bid bonds, rather, and I think construction should start shortly.
So you figure in spring?
We're hoping January 1st.
Okay. And the other question I have is, I'd like to get the town's perspective. After reading the Riverhead Local about the Wading River Motel thing, it kind of left the town, at least from what I read, in a bad light. I don't know if there's any new facts or any update as to what, why, and what took place there.
It's an ongoing investigation. Here's the bottom line. We didn't create the problem in the town, but as the town supervisor and the town board, we have to protect the health and safety of the residents including the residents that the Commissioner of Social Services decided to put in that hotel. And when we do inspections and we find out that things are not what they should be, whether it's electrical or overcrowding or basement occupancy, I, as a town supervisor, and we as a board have an obligation to enforce the code to protect the life, health, and safety of these residents, and that's what we did. Tickets will be issued. We're gonna be talking about moving in Supreme Court, but I think what people need to take away from this is the town board did not create this problem. Social Services created this problem, and then instead of coming to the town board and working with us, they chose to air their grievances in the newspaper. I will not do that, but I will protect the residents that Social Services puts in that building, even when they do it with total disregard to the safety of the residents, and that's what this is about.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Does anybody else wish to be heard? Jim?
I move the adjourn, thanks.
All in favor? Aye.
I'm trying to make it. I want nothing to do with it. I don't want to touch it.